Newport Beach Film Festival rocks.
Newport Beach Film Festival rocks!
This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show, and tonight we're here at the opening night of the 2012 Newport Beach Film Festival, featuring the premiere of the film Jewtopia. Lynn Shay, what do you think of the plot? Jewtopia.
Actually, having grown up Jewish, there was definitely a desire from my family of me to stay within tradition, and we're a little we're a little more we're a little more liberal in life now, but not really. I mean, I think families want, especially their children, to stay within a framework that they understand, and I think that the Jew goy, if you'll pardon the expression, hey, we're all the same. We're all on this planet. We're all trying to get up in the morning and brush our teeth. So, in my mind, Jewish, non-Jewish, whatever, Arabian, Muhammad, whatever, I believe in everybody, in my opinion.
What was the highlight of making the movie Jewtopia?
Having been in it from the very beginning, I was in the play day one in the little dark black box rehearsal hall with Bryan and Andy Fickman, who was the original director of the play and who was the producer, one of the producers on the film.
Jewtopia. Rachel G. Fox, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Jewtopia.
I play a very rebellious character. She's raised Jewish and in a very tight, contained family, but all of a sudden, somewhere along the way, she kind of gets this rebellious edge to her, and she starts dressing goth and wearing a lot of eyeliner. So she's like, my interaction was always, I was pretty much screaming at all the other characters most of the time, just in a tantrum fit, because she's just so rebellious. That was a lot of fun for me.
What was your highlight of making the Jewtopia film?
Getting to improv with some of the best improvisers in the entire business. That was insane, because everyone was always so good at that and so good in the, they were all so well versed in comedy. And I mean, getting to improvise with Jon Lovitz is just like, it's unbelievable. I mean, he's from Saturday Night Live and he's so good at comedy. So that was just insane.
Would you like to see yourself on Saturday Night Live one day?
I absolutely would. That is definitely one of my goals, to host the show eventually. I'm definitely going to do it.
Jewtopia.
My character is Clayton O'Connell.
And how do you interact with the other characters?
I'm a kind of a military guy, so I usually have a gun in every scene. So I don't know how you would call that. I'm interacting pretty violently, I suppose.
What causes you to be violent in Jewtopia?
I think it's just my general nature. I think just walk around with a gun. It's kind of my thing.
Why do you think people are going to love Jewtopia?
I think, well, if you saw the play, it's a very warm, it's a warm experience. It kind of breaks down, I think, all of the barriers of how different groups interact with each other, and really puts a nice comedic spin on everything. And you really feel good afterward. It takes you on a ride. There's parts where you're like, oh man, I think that was offensive, but by the end you realize that we're all just trying to get along, really.
Jewtopia. Austin Abrams, tell me about your character in Jewtopia.
I play the younger version of Joel, and just a kind of crazy Jewish, sporadic, insane kind of kid.
Now, what makes Joel funny in Jewtopia?
I don't know. He's just he's always. He's just really nervous. He can't talk to people, and he sweats a lot. He has panic attacks.
Jewtopia. Are the parents aggravating your character?
Yeah, they really do. Rita Wilson, who plays my mom, I have a freak out. She starts going on about Chinese lady. I look at her. I went to a Chinese restaurant, and then she yells at me for looking at her, and I have a panic attack.
Jewtopia. What did you learn from working with Jon Lovitz? Jewtopia.
That you can be funny, but kind of really dry at the same time.
Jewtopia. Rolando Molina. It just rolls off my tongue. Tell me about your character in Jewtopia.
Well, my character's name is Ramon. He's a plumber that works for Ivan Sergei's character in the film. He's a very sweet guy who's always supportive of his boss, except when he starts screwing up, and being the sweet guy that he is, he has to put him in check and let him know that he's screwing up and whatnot. But overall, he's a very nice guy and, funny guy too. Very funny.
Ivan Sergei.
Ivan's an awesome guy. He's just like a big kid in an adult's body, and we're on set together. There's nothing but laughs and laughs and laughs, and a lot of joking around, and I got to take some 3D pictures of him with my 3D camera, and he loved it. He's a great guy. Really love working with him.
Jewtopia. Bree Turner.
Hi.
How are you doing? Blurring out with Eric Blair.
Hello.
Now tell me about your character in this movie. Jewtopia.
Jewtopia. I play a non-Jewish person in the film. There's 2 camps in the film, and I'm not on the Jewish side, but I play a hunter. I chew a lot of skull, and I wear a lot of tight camo. So those are the 3 bullet points I'm going to leave you with.
Okay, and you use the word bullet points.
Yes.
Jewtopia. Are you an aggressive character with camo and chewing?
Yeah, I've tapped into my more aggressive side. Yeah.
And how does that become funny in the film Jewtopia?
Well, it's so ludicrous. These scenes that I'm a part of. The whole movie is incredibly broad and silly, but the actors are so solid that there's a lot of grounded truth.
Jewtopia.
It doesn't matter what your religion is, but just the conflict of where you come from, and you're pleasing your family and doing what making your own path in life and choices. And I think it's relatable.
Bree, how happy are you that you were involved in this film? Jewtopia.
I'm thrilled. Bryan Fogel, the writer-director, is a dear friend of mine, so I was just happy to help him out and be a part of it and see his dream come true.
Jewtopia.
I mean, I saw this play in the 99-seat theater on Santa Monica Boulevard 10 years ago, so it's very special.
Ivan Sergei. Jewtopia.
Christian Thaddeus, Reginald MacArthur O'Connell.
There you go. And you want to marry a Jewish girl.
We got to get a Jewish girl. There's no other way to go, right?
And it's because you don't want to make the decisions anymore.
It is. In college, my character was dating a girl, and she was Jewish. He asked her to marry him, and she said, I can't marry you because I'm not Jewish, because you're not Jewish. So when he meets Jennifer Love Hewitt's character 10 years later, he decides, I'm going to become a Jew. He hires his friend to teach him how to become a Jew, and mayhem ensues from there.
And then your best friend is marrying a girl that he does not want to marry, which is played by Jamie Lynn Sigler.
That's right, who's awesome in the movie.
Jewtopia. What did you enjoy about making this film?
I made some great friends. Bryan Fogel, the writer-director, he's a great guy. I've done a few comedies in my life. I've done The Opposite of Sex, and I did a half-hour comedy on ABC, and there's just no better job than when you can go to work and laugh all day and then just go home.
What touched you about this film?
I think that the thing that probably touches everybody in a certain sort of a way is all these kind of restrictions on why people should be together or shouldn't be together or could be friends. And, I just think everybody should just enjoy life. And if you're Jewish, you're Jewish. And if you're Christian, you're Christian. And you can still get along and still fall in love.
Jewtopia. Tell me how you got connected with Jewtopia.
I was familiar with the play from my wife and her girlfriends, and one of her girlfriends is a producer of Jewtopia, and she was trying to get the financing together, and we talked one night, well, if I got it together, would you be, the father of the bride, whatever? And I said, oh, sure. And then all of a sudden it got it together.
Jewtopia.
And that's how most of these independent films work. People talk about them for years, and then, something happens, and they get just enough money to get it moving, and that's what happened. And, it's a great way to get, especially when you're working with an ensemble cast, it's a great way to get people to say, hey, we don't have much money, but we got enough to make this movie. Nobody's getting paid, so it's a little relief for people like me. They're like, okay, nobody's getting paid, I'll be part of that. Now, if one dude was getting paid or 2, then there'd be a problem. But if nobody's getting paid, that's fine. We'll do it for that.
Tell me about your character.
The father of the bride, he's a gynecologist.
Jewtopia.
I haven't seen it. I'm nervous, about it because I haven't seen it.
So what was the enjoyment factor of working on this film for you?
The enjoyment factor was literally the days we were sitting around with Rita and Lovitz even, and Cameron Manheim, who's hilarious, and jamming on what we could do. And Jamie's really funny, and Joel's hilarious. Those days when we're sitting there thinking, well, what if we did this? The we'll see if it's in the movie.
Bryan Fogel, Jewtopia.
To Newport Beach Film Festival, thanks for having me. Great night.
What inspired the concept of Jewtopia?
Just kind of my life and my family.
Jewtopia. Is it that hardcore?
No, it's just really, tell you to write what you know, and I knew it, and it was about finding the funny. So,
why do you think this has been embraced by so many people?
Because laughter's contagious. I think people like to laugh.
Just got out of a huge screening of the film. Big Newport, big.
Yeah, it was big.
What was the reaction?
People seem to love it. Newport Beach Film Festival rocks!
Jewtopia.
The Blairing Out Show.